All right. Welcome to another Woods Report. All right. Happy Friday. So hopefully Wendy will chime in. She has the link already. So.
Oh, there's a delay.
What do you mean?
When I talk, there's a delay.
Lenore, you can't look at that. It's not what the people see.
Oh, I never noticed that. I thought just when I talk at the camera here, my mouth moves right with it. See, there's a delay.
Oh, it probably is. It's probably a delay.
Okay.
All right. This girl. Well, they finally found, well, I guess they already found, but arrested somebody for the ex-nay of Tupac Shakur.
They can't say the M word or K word.
You can't say the
K word. Oh, neither one.
Especially 30 seconds into the video. You can't say nothing like that.
Taking his life.
Yeah, taking his life. Taking Tupac Shakur's life.
I'm glad because now they need to do, what's his name too? Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
So that's good if they're finding out.
Emerald says, hey, ladies. Hey, Emerald. Yeah, we sent Wendy the link, Emerald. So
I'm waiting on her to get in. You want to do the picture?
If she comes in, then we'll be good. All right. I guess that's the guy. It's so old. Everybody looks old now.
How long ago was this?
I know.
20 years?
It's so long ago. And Tupac is like endless. That's his look forever.
Wow.
When people pass away.
Yeah.
What you looking at, Corey? I just made shorts. I can't believe this. I clearly remember this day, and finally his family gets peace. Let's all celebrate. What a great way to celebrate the weekend. Yeah. Yep.
So he's being charged. So I'm wondering if they have like clean evidence on him.
Remember, they was going into people's houses and all this kind of stuff recently.
Cold case.
Yeah, so they was like opening up. It's so weird how, like, why now? But,
No, cold case. Cold case is whenever they find more evidence to open the case back up.
Yeah. So let's see here. It says Dwayne Keffy D. Davis arrested. Charged with murder. Well, I've been 30 seconds into the video. In 1996, killing of rapper Tupac Shakur.
Wow, dude.
Can you believe that?
What is the connection here? Because you're going to read it.
Right? Davis, 60, said he was one of 4 occupants of a white Cadillac that pulled alongside the rapper's car before someone inside rolled down its windows and fired, hitting Tupac 4 times.
I gotta hear why he did it. When they put him on trial and do the whole thing, I want to. What was his motive?
Well, it says here in his memoir, Compton street legend Davis, this guy, identified his nephew Orlando Anderson as the one who fatally shot Tupac. Anderson, who was a member of the Southside Compton Crips gang, died at age 23 as a result of another gang shooting. But why would this guy put in his memoir that he knew about what's going on? That's just going to keep an investigation open on him.
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb.
Why would you write anything about it?
However, a Nevada grand jury indicted Davis over the murder with Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DeSimio, whatever his name is, describing Davis as the on-ground, on-site commander and shoot-kill caller who ordered the death of Shakur rather than just being an innocent bystander. So, but he shouldn't have never... See, everybody wants to claim the fame. He shouldn't have never wrote anything, a book or anything, because they were going to keep you don't think they're going to keep a file open on you?
That was a cold case. So that was ongoing. It was not even final.
Dumb.
So anybody who was a part of it, if you did any kind of writing down anything, that's being used against you now.
Dumb.
Anything you say, write, video, anything.
It says Anderson denied involvement in Shakur's, they keep saying the word M over and over again, and was never charged. The other 2 men in the car, Terrence Brown and DeAndre Smith, are also now dead. He the only one alive.
If he was not alive, would this still go on as unsolved?
Nevada does not have a statute of limitations on prosecuting the M cases. And at a press conference Friday, Clark County DA Steve Wilson explained how a person aiding and abetting a M-word can still be charged for it. In July this year, Las Vegas police served a search warrant. That was what I was talking about. At the Henderson, Nevada home of Davis. Remember they was talking about that search warrant a little while ago. And everybody was like, what are they doing a search warrant for? They got his computers. And why is he holding on to old computers and old stuff? He's a dummy.
I would have burnt that up.
He's holding on to stuff.
Anything that connects you with anything.
So they did a search warrant and they went into his house and with his wife Pamela Clemens as part of the Shakur homicide investigation. Cops confiscated several computers and laptops and iPads from the home, as well as a .40 caliber gun.
I'm wondering, what were they? You know what? A part of me.
The same casings was recovered at the scene of the crime.
I was asking you about that show that 50 Cent got out.
Yeah.
If that's still going on, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Where they pulling up cold cases of, dudes like Tupac and them being, taken, their lives being taken, and they're doing investigations. For my question is, I know that this is for me, a high level, a high profile. Why did it take so long? Tupac is not some young dude that's in the street in the hood or some person that lives down the street. He's I don't know. He's an actor, a rapper, and all of a sudden we found some more evidence.
Yeah, that doesn't.
This guy's a part of.
Well, I guess when his trial comes, we'll find out why they did the search warrant. Somebody had to have said something, or he did something, or something for them to say, "Okay, now we can go in." Because
they need a reason.
Well, this dummy still has all the stuff sitting at home. Somebody went over his house. Somebody went over to his house and he had a barbecue or something, and then he was talking about his stupid memoir and about Tupac, and probably was bragging about how his nephew and all this stuff. And somebody was like, dude, man. He probably was like, yeah, my nephew, me and him used to write, he used to send me some emails or something. And the dude was like, well, what's that old computer over there in the corner? He was like, yeah, man, I just keep my old stuff. Big dummy. Something he did stupid that somebody went and told on him.
So before then, that was not happening.
Well, the police was probably like, no dodo bird would still have a computer from 20, 30 years
like
ago.
Anything on the books, they need a reason.
To go in. Some guy was over at the barbecue and said he had some old computers still at his house. So they probably was like, Judge, can we get in there and get these computers?
You need a search warrant.
They probably got some stuff.
They need a reason for the search warrant.
Reason.
But this is a long time.
Well,
so it took all that time for this conversation
he probably just had a barbecue.
Or this incident.
So it's stupid.
Wow.
It says Greg Canning, a retired LAPD detective who had investigated Tupac's death,
of course retired,
told the Post Friday Davis provided the gun and he actively sought out Tupac with his nephew. So he ordered the hit. What it is, I guess this was a different time, but
how many years ago? Was this in
96?
So in the 90s. Mid-90s.
Davis gave the gun to his nephew, who was in the car with them, and collectively they went out and intended to shoot Tupac. He provided the gun. His nephew did the shooting. So they are all equally guilty under the citation for the M-word. Mm-hmm. Even if you was driving, he'd be guilty. Mm-hmm. If you in the car, you're guilty. That's how they look at it.
We had a local friend whose sibling was in the car, had no clue.
He was in the car. He was in a gang.
He wasn't in it.
I thought he was in the gang. He was a gang member.
I didn't think he was connected with that gang.
Yeah.
He was just,
no. He was in the gang. That's why they got him. He was in the gang.
Are you talking about this story or the person?
The person who you talking about?
Really?
Yes, her brother is in the gang. Was in the gang.
I thought he was affiliated with him.
No, he was.
Because how you associate, you may not be in it, but you just know him.
He was in it. Okay. But he didn't do that. He didn't know what they was driving. He got in the car. He was driving. He didn't know what they was gonna do.
Well, see, this is news to me. Oh. Now that's why he got picked up. I'm not surprised now.
Oh yeah.
I was actually going to bat for him because a lot of times you may not be in the gang, but you know them.
Oh,
you associate with them.
Right.
And they'll click you with them.
Right.
You're like, I don't know nothing about that. That's what I thought. Okay.
Well, even if you're not in it, he probably still would have got in trouble, like you said.
Driving them somewhere.
It's like the Mar-a-Lago gang with comb over. You don't have to know. You don't have to know comb
the
over.
milkman bringing over the stuff at the stash in the back of the truck.
Remember Goodfellas with Samuel L. Jackson? Boots. What was his name? Boots. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He didn't do. All he did was open. He did something, but he wasn't with the big guys. He still had to get taken out.
Oh wow!
So, well, this detective says, "I'm super excited because this is huge. We knew this wasn't an unsolved case, and now it looks like they have taken it to a point where they can officially close it. For the rest of history, Tupac's murder will not be considered an unsolved crime."
Wow.
Now, you was asking about Biggie
Smalls.
This guy interviewed Davis twice while he was a cop in L.A. While investigating the murder of Shakur and his rap rival, Notorious B.I.G., a.k.a. Christopher Wallace, who was gunned down in Hollywood. Following the shooting, Tupac was rushed to the University Medical Center in Nevada, along with Knight. Remember Suge Knight, who was also hit. Remember,
trouble follows him.
Remember, people kept thinking he had something to do with it. He died, Tupac died 6 days later on September 13th of cardiac arrest. So he was still alive. Wow. Although the shooting took place in a very visible public area, no witnesses came forward at the time. It has been heavily speculated that Tupac's murder was gang-related. The rapper was associated with the Blood Street Gang, and earlier on that night of his death, he had gotten into a fight with Anderson following a boxing match, Mike Tyson. Now, we saw that. Mm-hmm. We saw them fighting. Of course, Suge and them was in there. They beat up Anderson.
Yeah.
And then he ran out like a little bee and said, "I'm going to go get my cousins and my uncle and everybody." And then he came back, which is what he did, which I never understand. I still don't understand to this day. When people tell you they're going to get somebody, believe them. Mm-hmm. I was over my friend's house. He lives in Chicago on 79th, over there on the bad neighborhood. And we was in the house, relaxing. And it was at nighttime. And I heard these two guys on the corner arguing with each other. And did I tell you this story? Mm-hmm. I never told them this story. And they were arguing. And that guy said, "I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to my car. I'm going to get my gun. And I'm going to come back." And that guy said, "Go get your gun."
Who does that?
Well, I don't know what happened.
He went to get his gun.
Well, I don't know. Well, we went to sleep. The next morning, I get to go to work.
Was it a chalk line?
There's a chalk line on the corner where they was arguing. A body chalk line.
Oh, my God.
He told him he was going to go get his gun.
That happened to me at a party when I was in college. A party off campus. A lot of us was all outside. And we was getting ready in our car. So those of us who went. There's one guy, they started to fight. The moment he said, "I'm going to get my gun."
That's it.
It was like roaches fleeing when you turn the light on. Everybody got out of there.
I'm out of here.
That makes sense. I'm going to get my gun. You gotta go.
That's it.
Because he means business.
And that's why I think that lady, when they was at Maxwell hot dog place in Chicago, and that guy started punching that lady, remember?
Yeah.
And her son came in and he shot him. The guy was running and he kept shooting him. Because you don't know where that guy's going. You're not going to get no gun and come back here and get me.
Exactly. You don't know what he's running to, what he's running from.
When you start shooting, it's over.
Yeah.
That's it. When a person pulls out a gun, that's it. Yeah. It's over.
Yeah.
So, and the cops told us that when we was in our police class. Mm-hmm. They told us in the citizens class, they don't shoot the wound. They shoot to kill. When we pull our gun out, it's to kill you.
That's why I always wanted.
They told us that point blank.
And I know all the different police, Citizens Academy did mention that. So you would think, knowing this as a trained officer, why would you do that first?
Don't pull your gun out. Exactly.
Because if you're not de-escalating and try to do the easiest way to do it, unless they have a weapon at you. Right away, boom. Right away, boom. You don't see no weapon.
That's why you should be nervous if a cop is pulling his gun out.
Yes.
That's why when I watch these searching things, when the cops had their gun and they be going to each room and they had their guns out to shoot.
That's why I was scared.
I would be afraid if they come in.
You got out the car.
That guy had his gun.
That was God. That was favor because she got out the car.
And the guy,
do as well.
This was when I was younger. Like learning how to drive, 16, 17, and the cop pulled me over, and he was taking a long time. And I didn't know it'd take that long time. That might have been like my first ticket. And I got out the car. I was like, what's taking so long? He jumped out of his car.
Got behind the door.
Behind the door of his car, shaking, holding his gun, saying, get back in the car.
So you like, doo-doo-doo.
And I was like, okay. And I got back in the car. He could have shot me.
He could have shot you. Yeah.
When we took our class, they said when they pull their gun out, they pull it out to shoot.
Why won't they just use the what you call it, the sting you?
Because they could still come at somebody with that. You keep saying that stun gun.
No, they can use that if they don't see a weapon. If they having problems with you, trying to get you to
yeah, for that.
Don't use a gun.
Remember one of the people. I'm not going to say any names. But one of the officers who was our teacher. I think he
stung a little too hard.
She was stinging everybody.
Some people died.
She got had to go to a trial.
In our class, she
stings everybody.
I'm like, well, at least she don't use the gun.
Yeah, but she got in trouble for that.
I know.
Because she was stinging everybody. Yeah. You could do anything without her pulling that thing out.
Ma'am, I don't have my you don't have your insurance card.
So anyway, it says, let's see, okay, the speculation, it was gang related or whatever. Shakur's stepbrother, I didn't even know he had a stepbrother, Mopreme Shakur told CNN in an interview that he and his family have been frustrated since David's name has been floating around. That's what we're saying. So they've been waiting. All right, let's see what Wendy's saying here.
Hold on, Wendy. Since you mean 6 o'clock.
I'm just stuck in here. Maybe need a new link. Let's see. They didn't give us a.
I told you they don't notify us.
They didn't give us a notification. So let's see.
Start.
I don't see you, Wendy. Here, close this. I don't see her. I can't go there.
Can you just do shift whatever?
Oh, here she is. Now we see you. All right. Now we see you.
What happened?
It didn't give. It showed. You know what?
It doesn't give us notification.
No, it did after I did start. So we learning this thing, Wendy.
I'm so confused. I've been sitting here since 7 o'clock, and I said, "Oh my God, they think I'm not in there."
You know what? It didn't until I did show, Lenore. So we got to do that first. All right, we're learning this thing, Wendy. We're getting better. We're getting better.
Don't go pull your gun out.
Don't go pull your gun out on us. Don't sick Sherlock on us.
I know.
Now I can't hear you.
What you do to the sound?
You took your sound out.
Say something.
You muted yourself. You muted yourself, Wendy. All right. No.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Here we go. All right. So that's basically it. They was hoping that his murderer would be brought to justice, and he finally was. Let's say hi to everybody before we get Wendy in here. Wendy says, hello, ladies. I mean, Emerald says, hello, ladies.
Sorry, Emerald. She calling you.
How you doing? My biggest fan. I love you.
Corey says, okay, that's what we said. I just made sure. On Access, the guy said it's going to be a closed case. It is. Because I believe they found something on those computers, and that gun, they said, traces back.
You got to remember that he wrote a book with his stupid self.
Dumb! Isn't that stupid?
In his book, he gives details of how he killed Tupac.
Dummy. Dumb. Emerald says, everyone has passed except for him. Can we really believe this man? He's a dummy. At least everybody else got killed off.
He's still living.
Justice for All says once they found out that the white Cadillac was a rental car, was from Compton, they should have been able to determine who rented it. This case could have been solved years ago. Those dummies rented a car. Are you serious?
During that evening when he got shot?
Yeah. Where Wendy go?
Why does it disconnect?
All right. All right.
Okay.
Those dummies rented a car? I can't
They
believe
rented a car
that.
with their name on it and everything to track them. Why did they do it? That's what I want to know.
Because
Why did they kill him?
Because he got in a fight. If you remember earlier, Tupac got in a fight with that Anderson dude at the fight.
At the fight.
Yes, and he went back like we was just saying. He was gonna go get his gang members, and that's what he did.
My God.
Justice Frost says, I think Keith D must have a terminal illness. He wanted to take credit for his crime so that everyone always remembers him. Oh,
to just be transparent now.
So now he's famous.
That's really pathetic.
Yeah, he's famous now.
I'm the one that took Tupac's life. Or was a part of it?
Yeah.
He has no conscience.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
I mean, he figures he's going to pass away anyway because of the terminal illness.
So that's it, guys. We'll be following this case along with the Mar-a-Lago crime family case, which grows every day.
Find out who killed Biggie next.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Another cold case.
You know, everybody keep pointing at Puff, but he said I don't have nothing to do with that. So I don't know.
Biggie's mother said that P-Diddy did it. She believes that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if they're going to figure that one out. But
if
we'll
he
see.
didn't, I wonder if he has an ideal.
I don't know.
Just
keeping it on the streets. We don't know.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So that was it for Tupac. We'll keep following that story.